Hey guys, Tony back again. Here to show you a deck profile again. This is definitely another fun deck. I actually kind of was in a bad mood and designed this strictly to just annoy other people or annoy me, depending on how it goes. Um, kind of coin flippy, kind of disastrous either for the player or the opponent, depending on where the climaxes are. So it is a Hello Happy World deck. Hello Happy World is my favorite Bang Dream band to play. The decks are typically really chaotic and fun. Sometimes you just honestly don't know what is going to happen when you play these. As you can see, I usually have special names that I give to my Hello Happy World decks. This one I call Hello Happy Soul Rush. You're going to see why in a second here. So let's get all started here. Start off with our brainstorm. Uh, this Misaki is has a climax combo, the same climax as our level 1 combo. When the wind is placed, you choose a character and you can give it both 1k power and twin drive. The twin drive helps with both the level 1 combo and the level 3 combo, since they both are looking for soul triggers on your triggers. And the effect is pretty decent, and the card's decently old, and it's also from a trial deck. So of course, you're tapping 2 in order to salvage. Not usually a big deal. Moving on, one of the most popular cards in yellow. This Kaoru here is what's called an Akatsuki. In this case, it is an Akatsuki for yellow. So basically only useful with Hello Happy World and pastel palettes. It is a great ditch outlet, and it is great for milling out. I actually forgot I mentioned I run 4 of the brainstorm. Uh, it's really important to get 1, if not 2 of them in the background, or the back row no matter what. You really need it for your combo. Back to the Kaoru. I would love to run this as a 4 of if I could. Uh, I couldn't really fit it in the deck the way I was building it, so I really had to take it down to 3. But it's almost never a bad idea to put this as a 4 in a Hello Happy World deck if you can stand it. Up next, we come to a Hagami card. Hagami is not as popular as the other girls, but this is one of the best yellow cards in Bang Dream. You do have to take a damage, and you ditch a card. But that actually lets you search for any yellow climax and pump something 1k. So, I mean, just even if you have to take the damage, the ability to go search for the climax that you need at level 1 when you have one of those bad games where no matter how deep you dig down, it's either in your stock or you just can't get it in your hand for some reason, it winds up being great. I usually run this as a 2 of, but again, the insane crap that I was doing in this deck wouldn't let me do that. So, we'll move on to another Hagami now. This is part of why this is called Soul Rush and why this deck is kind of crazy. As you can see, on attack, if you have 2 or more other characters, she gets 2k. So she becomes a 4k beater if you have basically if you have cards on your stage. And the big part is this. If you reveal a soul trigger, she gets an extra soul, so she becomes a 2 soul beater on a good trigger check. So, we're starting to get into the Soul Rush here. We come over to this Kaoru. Again, we're on Soul Rush here. When she is played, top check, if it's a character, she gets an extra soul. Again, a level 0-2 soul beater. There's no events in here, 8 climaxes, so there's going to be a decent chance that you are going to hit a character. Oh, I messed around with the numbers on these a lot. I actually kind of wanted to run 4 of this Kaoru instead of 2 and just get rid of the Hagami, but I really like the Hagami just being a big beater for no reason. Um, Anybody who's played Bang Dream or Hello Happy World is going to recognize this Kokoro card. It's a drop search. And again, I mean, she gets an extra soul if she's in the middle of your center stage. So she gets an extra soul basically for no reason. So again, a level 0-2 soul beater. So again, we are trying to soul rush. And let's skip ahead a little bit and I will show you this. Yes, I'm an insane idiot, so I put a 2 soul climax in this deck. It's fun. I've actually had 3 2 souls at level 0 with a 2 soul climax and just knock somebody straight to level 2 just because why the hell not? So it's kind of fun. Moving over to our level 1 climax combo. Kokoro gets 1k on your turn. And when that wind we were talking about earlier, the same wind that hits on the brainstorm, when it's placed in your climax area, she gets 1500 power and she gets the ability that if her trigger reveals a soul trigger, you get to search for a character. So now you're seeing why we really like this card. This gives her twin drive. So it gives her 2 chances to find a soul trigger. When the deck runs badly, you have no hand because she hits nothing and you search nothing. When it runs well, you are searching twice on every one of her attacks. And so, obviously, the point here is, if you can, you want to attack with, if you have 2 or 3 of her, you want to attack with this Kokoro first. You know, search a couple level 0s or level 1s. You obviously don't want to search soul triggers here because you want more soul triggers in the deck later on. That's another reason why this is a 4 of. This does deck thinning. You can search level 0s and level 1s with this drop search in order to leave more soul triggers for Kokoro. And again, you know, leave more soul triggers for this Hagami as well. Remember correctly, she swings for 9k, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, yeah, 8, 5 to 9, depending on how you build the deck, on her turn. So she's swinging really big, but you're going to lose her the next turn, so you really need to hope you hit soul triggers so you can actually get some cards in hand, because most of the time she is not surviving. And yeah, we have more soul rush here. This Kokoro has twin drive just for existing, so with all the soul triggers in this deck, you're pushing extra damage with her usually. And, you know, she's also a 6-5 beater on your turn. Again, there's a few different ways to give her even more power on your turn here. Moving on to a tech card. This card can be a huge pain against 8 standby, neg soul walls, anti-front attack walls, stuff like that. This WeisSacKing gives, only on your turn, it gives level assist. It also has the ability that you can tap her to untap something else. That doesn't really do much in this deck, but it's actually pretty great if you run the Hagami tap 1 salvage brainstorm from volume 2. So you actually get 2 brainstorms per turn if you run this next to her. But the reason I run this as a 1 of in almost every Hello Happy World deck now is this repeatable bounce. Pay 1, ditch 1, bounce a character. So, I mean, opponent has a couple riders or a couple priestesses or something out. Okay, bye. Screw you. I don't care. Obviously, it's not gonna, you're not gonna run this as a 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 of or something like that. You might run it as a 2 of depending on your locals. Also, you know, she got a soul trigger, so it's useful in this deck. Here, we have another excuse for a soul trigger, but this can also screw with your opponent. We have a memory counter. It's only a 2k memory counter, but again, it's a 1-1 instead of a 2-1, so you can use it early if your opponent has something annoying that they're attacking you with, and you just want to get rid of it. And we come over here. Getting into everything has a soul trigger now. We have this anti-change backup for Calro. Pretty self-explanatory. This is a more interesting card. I've gone on and off with it in this deck a couple times. It's nice as just a big beater at level 1, because if you have 4 or more, she early plays. And as you can see, she gets some juice on the turn that she's played. She can wreck some things. And again, soul trigger. Coming over to this 2-1 Calru, again, she has a soul trigger as a 2-1. Always useful in the deck. Now, we're not paying any attention to the climax combo because we're not running her climax. This is here just as an anti-change bomb. It's just an extra tool, tech in case you need it. And moving on to the real juice. We have our level 3 climax combo. Combos off of the same climax as our level 1 Kokoro climax combo. That's how we fit the 2 soul in here. So Hagami, again, annoying to your opponent. On play, draw 1, ditch 1, and then you can also bounce one of your opponent's characters. There's a lot of decks you're going to go against where your opponents just don't want you to do that. So, and then her climax combo, when the wind is placed, she gets 1500 power and the ability that if you trigger a soul trigger, she burns 3. Obviously, that can only happen once per turn. Brings us back to our fun little brainstorm that hits on the same climax combo. We're giving Hagami an extra 1k power and twin drive to help her find that soul trigger to get that free burn 3. I don't know if I've ever swung in with Hagami on any of the soul trigger decks that I play, and she didn't hit a soul trigger for burn 3. The bounce, obviously, you have to be careful with it. I mean, you don't want Hagami swinging for, 2, 4, 5, 6 damage. Most of the time, it's not going to go through. It's really fun when it does, though. I have done that a couple times and really annoyed a couple people. As with any yellow deck and most Bang Dream decks that run yellow, we're running Musashi's here. I run it as 4 of, just because, I mean, weren't really any other level 3s that I really wanted to play that badly. And I think it has good synergy with the Hagami. Bounce a character, put the Musashi into that direct lane. I'm going to swing for 2, 3, 4, around 4 to 6. If it goes through, great. If it doesn't, okay, I'm just going to burn you. So. And one of my favorite new-ish Hello Happy World cards, we finally have an early play healer. This is a 2 or fewer climax as early play. The good stuff about her, though, is that, in a Hello Happy World deck, she gets 1500 power and the ability that when she is reversed, you can ditch a card from your hand to get her back. So, as long as you're still meeting the waiting room restriction or the condition, you can get her out again the next turn if they beat the hell out of her. So just looping your healers. And I run this older Calru as a 1 of, she digs. She digs up to X, which X is the number of characters you have on stage. So obviously she's great for finding a lot of things. Great for finding your Hagami, if you want a Musashi or your healer, or if you're looking for one of the climaxes. Or worst case scenario, you just need a 2 soul beater. Well, she can find you one of these maybe. The early play condition doesn't matter because not playing the other cards, but she can beat over some things as well on your turn. We've already talked about the climaxes a little bit. We have just a normal 2 soul climax. It's fun swinging 4s, 5s, 6s, stuff like that, and they actually hit, and you just see the face on your opponent when it happens. Obviously not too fun when you do it 3 times and they cancel 3 times, but that's what I love about Hello Happy World. It's just absolute chaos, and that's how I build decks for it. And we have the Magic Smiles. That's the wind. That's the one that is on both of your level 1 and your level 3 climax combo. And it's a wind. So again, it's another way to knock your opponent's cards off the board and just annoy them. See if you can't get them triggered into making some kind of mistake somewhere during the game. Oh, that's all the cards. Um, it's obviously this is not a meta deck. Obviously, you're not taking this into BCS or Springfest or something like that with the intention of easily getting into top cut or top 8, top 4, anything. This is just throw down big soul, hope for huge damage, and just you and your opponent laugh when they die when you're at like level 1 just because stupid crap happened. Um, a lot of the cards either quote unquote aren't good, um, or they have some issues, but again, this is strictly a fun deck. It's fun to play in English League. It's fun to play at locals, just randomly, just throw it out and see what happens. It's it's pretty solitaire. It isn't incredibly complicated. Again, just throw cards on the board. Try to throw soul at your opponent and just hope big damage goes through. Um, so there isn't really too much else to say about this. I'm doing the Encore Dex thing this time because I'm having some issues with my camera right now. So my next couple of videos are probably going to be like this too. So, as usual, go ahead, leave any comments, questions, anything you want. Uh, Criticism is fine as long as it's useful or funny. So, that's it. I am signing off. Until next time.